Hello again, I'm Mario, and today we're going to talk about a Pope history. So I told you, Costanza and Alessandro de' Medici moved here, and they were having all their family here. Alessandro was a cardinal, so you can see here the representation of these little angels that we call putto. The putto here is holding a cardinal hat. After a few years, Alessandro became a pope. So a Medici member was a pope. Alessandro was the Pope Leo X, and he was called the Lightning Pope because he was in Rome only for a few days. As I was mentioning to you to the last story, those were very bloody times, and if they don't like you, you know, they're gonna treat you somehow. But that's the representation of Alessandro being a pope. You see the puttos over there, they're holding on pastoral sticks that only the pope can wear. And then I'll suggest you to move to see the original crest of Alessandro, that we have only two official representation of this crest. One is here and one is in St. Peter's in Rome. So you're gonna see something unique. Let's move on. So here we are. Now we're gonna see something unique, something special, something that only here in Four Seasons Florence and in the Vatican you will see. You know that each pope has his own crest designed by himself. And you will see the list of the crests of the popes in St. Peter's Church in Rome. And now you're gonna see the only one represented here in Florence. Here you are. This is the original crest of Alessandro de' Medici. You see the Medici crest with the red bulls. And then you see the lion holding the crest. That's a real particular thing, because also you will see the St. Peter's keys and the pastoral hat that only the Pope can wear. So now you see something special, something unique, something that you're never gonna see before in your life. And let's go. So now we move to the noble part of this structure. I just remember you. We are in 1450 around, and Alessandro de' Medici, the cardinal that became a pope, and his sister were here. She was married with the Della Gherardesca family, and you know, that was the second most powerful family in town. The Medici family owns the money, and the Gherardesca family owns the lands. At that point, you are a perfect matching for powerfulness. And here you have all the crests of all the lands controlled by the Gherardesca family. You can see they had a very, very big properties. You can say that from the north of Rome till approximately south of Milan, including Corsica and Sardinia. Everything here is original. You can see the crest of Corsica, the crest of Sardinia over there, the crest of Pisa.
And this is the original
Correct.
part of the palace.
This is the noble part of the palace.
The noble part of the palace.
From here you can see there is a first line of rooftop. That was the real ending of that time of the roof of this property. And then during the years, renovations and restorations, that we're gonna talk about it a bit later on, you will see they add a few floors, they add a glass roof, only 14 years ago. Let's go to see our special room.
So the floors and everything are original.
Yes.
Wow. The walls. Oh, look at this.
This floor is around 200 years old. It's a Carrara marble floor. We keep on restoration and renovation about every 2 years because it's tough to maintain. So now we are here in our ballroom. This is a very special room. First of all, you can see the height of the ceiling is around 12, 13 meters high. This is a very special thing. And you can see the frescoes all around. The frescoes are very special, and those represent the history of the Medici and the La Gherardesca family when they went to conquest Sardinia and Corsica. Usually the La Gherardesca family and the Medici family used to have gala dinners here. Just, you know, at those times they were at Instagram, they were at Facebook, so they have to show the population and explain the population what's going on in politics and in the society at that time. I can have also a little tip about a mechanic thing that maybe you don't think about it very much. When I used to do this kind of tours with the kids, I always ask them, how can I open those windows over there? And of course everybody is thinking, oh, you know, with a long, very long stick, or very simply with a remote control. But it's more than simple than this. You know, we just have a little stick and a chain, and everything moves. This is original.
This is original?
Yes.
This was designed 800 years ago?
Approximately 600.
600, okay.
Yes. And
Wow.
it's still there, still work, still impressive.
Still works, and it must have a 1,000-year guarantee on it.
History.
History.
Lifetime, not ours, that life.
That's right.
And I told you that Guelfo della Gherardesca, together with the Medici family, they went to conquest Sardinia and Sardinia, and that's the moment when he came to that island. And the Sardinian people, called now till nowadays Mori, which means dark-skinned people, they give up immediately without even fight. You can see that because they posed their weapons on the floor. They gave him treasures, golds, and slaves. Those in particular are Turkish slaves. They are handcuffed, and also I can tell you they are Turkish about the hairdresser. And you see there is a little boy, dark-skinned boy, the Moro, holding like the contract to give to Guelfo della Gherardesca. And then when you conquest a territory, what you do, you get immediately married with the family that owns that land. And that's the moment when Guelfo della Gherardesca asked to Elena of Sardinia, the princess of Sardinia, her hand. In this particular fresco, I will highlight a couple of things. First of all, you will see that Elena, she is very, very white, you know, like a pearl. Of course, she is noble, so she cannot be dark-skinned. And another thing to notice is that approximately all the faces behind her and behind him looks alike. And why that? Because, remember, it was a home. So when the painter was painting the fresco, the cousin, the brother, the sister-in-law, and everybody from the family was passing through. And they usually tell the painter to be just behind Guelfo della Gherardesca. And the painter made all the faces look alike. So when the cousin, the brother, the father of Guelfo passing through, he can say, oh, look, you are just behind Guelfo. Oh, no, you are just behind Guelfo. And that's also for Elena of Sardinia. Another thing to notice is the soldiers and just the normal population have those backs with very big muscles. I would love to have a back like that. But just to show that, yes, the soldiers are very powerful and well equipped and everything, but also the population that they conquested, they are very strong. Of course, they didn't conquest a simple nation. Hey guys, another little tip. You see this crest? This is the crest of Alessandro de' Medici when he was a cardinal. You see, the crest is very similar to the other, but there is the cardinal hat on it, not the pastoral. So we are focusing on this home of a pope. Let's go there. Hi guys. So now we are in a particular room. This is our royal suite. Probably Alessandro slept here, lived here together with his family. That's a particular thing. Fantastic to see. Let's move here. You see, now we are totally hugged by culture and history. From the ceiling, old frescoes, to the walls, to also the pavement, which is painted, hand-painted by Ignazio Chiaiese, which is a master of Maiolica painters. This is around 300 years old. Let's see where he slept. Is this fantastic?
I can hardly contain myself. I mean, this.
You have a wonderful view of the park. You have the view of Florence. And you feel like to be a king or a pope or a noble in general, just for staying here.
Wow. I must say, squisito.
Squisito.
Oh my goodness, this is spectacular. Wow.
I can tell you another particular thing about this particular bathroom. You see, there are these mechanic things like hammers. What is it called in English? I don't remember.
A gear.
Gears.
Gears, yes.
Because during the years, this was an office. This was an office of the Italian Metallurgic Society. And they decided to keep it because it's very important. There is a leaf of gold in everything, in all the hammers that's original from 200 years ago approximately. And they moved here the offices of the Italian Metallurgic Society because the railway company moved from the south to the north, and they need a place in between to have an office. So Florence was the perfect location to have it. And this is another little segment of the history of this palace.